back for another video. My name is Melissa and this is my channel Purling Through Life, where I like to talk about knitting and crochet and yarn. And today is an update video on all the things I've been working on lately. And I don't have any crochet, they're all knitting. And I also don't have any finished objects. I've come pretty close, but I do have 6 works in progress. And also I'd like to show you my Advent. I have an Advent box from Forbidden Fiber Co. It consists of 24 20-gram minis I've been opening every day. You'll be seeing this on Thursday, December 4th, but I'm filming it on Wednesday, December 3rd. So I have 3 days of minis to share with you. And I'd also like to show you all of the goodies that came with the box. So let's get started with my Advent box. So here is the box that everything came in. All of the mini skeins came packaged in these little brown bags. And then on Christmas Day, there's a full hank of yarn for you to open. And then it also came with a bag and a bunch of goodies. So here's the bag, and I have all of the goodies in there. And this year's box was based on the poem, The Night Before Christmas. So the bag actually says, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." Let me open it up and show you all the extras. So first I'll show you the book. It came with a book that contains the poem and its beautiful illustrations. And then it came with some popcorn, some red, green, and white popcorn, and it's vanilla, which I don't think I'll be eating. I'll give it to somebody else. And it came with a beautiful ornament, if I can find it in here. Let me take these things out. So here's the ornament. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and I think this was made by Twin Mommy Creations. There's a card that it came with. So, isn't it? It's very pretty. I like it a lot. And then it came with some stitch markers. Let me see if I can get them all the right way around. There are 3 there. There is the Santa Claus and a little bell and then a little Christmas house. I'm not sure how well you can see all of those. And then I have 3 days of Advent to show you. This is Thursday, December 4th. I'm not sure if I told you that or not. And I filmed this on the Wednesday, so I've opened 3 days so far. And these colors are just gorgeous. And all of the names, all of the yarn has names, and they're based on the poem. So day 1, here is day 1, this beautiful blue. And this is called Night Before Christmas. It's just beautiful, and I want to get a basket to put all these in so I can look at them. So I've actually put number 1 on there so that I can just save this. I don't have to keep it in the bag. So there's that one. And then day 2, this is day 2, and this one is called Not Even a Mouse. Oh, it's beautiful. Am I showing you the others? So there is that one. And then for today's, well, actually yesterday's, because you'll see this on Thursday, here is this one. And this one is called Stockings Were Hung. So I'm very much loving this so far. So these are the 3 we have. I just love them. Yes, so there is my Advent so far. So now let's talk about my works in progress. I have 6 of them, and the first one I'll show you are my Advent socks from Woolens and Nosh, and they're living in this bag. So this is a 24 stripe Advent, and I have 2 days done. So I'm about to show you, so if you don't want to see them, look away. Here are days 1 and 2. Here they are, and I'm knitting these 2 at a time. This is all on fingering weight yarn. So the whole idea of this Advent is you can't see the yarn. There are 2 50-gram identical cakes of yarn in here, and you can't see what color is coming next. So you knit the first like just for example, you knit the first stripe, and then when you see that brown, like right now I see this brown, you stop. Then you start again on the next day, and you see your color and you knit, and then when you see this, you stop. So that is a very cool idea, because oftentimes the person knitting, you see like the whole hank straight away. So in this idea, everything is a surprise, which is I really like. So these are 2 at a time, which I don't normally do, but for Advent socks, I do. I also have Advent socks or Advent hank of yarn from Freckled Whimsy, which I will probably do in January, but I've been thinking about lately maybe doing like a muscle burrow hat with it instead, but I'm not really sure. So here are my Advent socks, and I cast on 64 stitches. I knit my socks cuff down for 2x2 rib for 15 rows, and yep, there we go. And I'm not sure if I will, what heel I'll do, but oftentimes, especially with striped yarn, I like to do an afterthought heel, and I use a 2.25 millimeter needle. So there we go. That is my first works in progress. My next 2 works in progress are also socks. We'll get the socks out of the way. And the next one is Living in This Bag by Knit for Brains. And these are just a vanilla pair of socks. So I have the first sock done. Here it is. This is West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply yarn. This is in their 2025 Christmas colorway, Mulled Wine. And the toe is also a Christmas colorway from a few years back, and I can't remember that. So this sock is off the needles, and I haven't done the heel yet. I'll do an afterthought heel. And then the progress I wanted to show you is the second sock. So I have this much done of the second sock. So we're getting there. And this is how I always knit my socks. Cuff down, 64 stitches, 2x2 rib for 15 rounds. And I do 93 rows. And I typically do an afterthought heel. And I usually cut in about row 20 or round 20. And I use a 2.25 millimeter needle. And this yarn, here is the yarn right here. And let me see if I can find information on that. Oh, this one, this is what I'm doing the heels and toes in here. This is called Vintage Tinsel. And here is the label. They are both 75 wool, 23% nylon, 2% polyester. They are both 100-gram balls, and there are 437 yards. So here we go. And oftentimes, I definitely have enough for 2 pairs of socks. And I never made these socks yet. I just decided to use them for heels, for heels and toes, but I should make an actual pair of socks with this. So there is that works in progress. The last pair of socks are Living in This Bag. And this bag is also from Forbidden Fiber Co. This is from their Advent from last year, which was based on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And these are the Cider House socks by Summer Lee. And here is my progress. I am very, very close to decreasing for the toe. So this is another cuff down sock. And all my socks are cuffed down. I tried to do toe up, and it was a disaster. So here we go. This is a cabled pattern. I don't know how well you can see it. It kind of looks like it gets blown out, the yarn. Don't know how well you can see that. But see, I'm very, very close. So I am knitting these on 2.25 millimeter needles. There are, I don't know how many sizes, 4 or 5, and I'm knitting the medium. And all of this yarn is Leading Men Fiber Arts. So here we go. I have a progress keeper. Here it is. This is a progress keeper from Firefly Notes from many, many years ago. It's a Christmas tree. Can you see it? So that's where I was. So I have done from there to here. So this is what I've done. I'm very close. I think I have one more repeat. It's like a 7-row repeat. So I think I have one more repeat, and then I will start decreasing for the toe. And this has a heel flap and gusset. And this cuff is quite a bit longer than I'm used to, but I followed the pattern exactly. I may have actually not done the leg as long because I really don't like my socks that long. So I may have cut out a recommended repeat in that. So this is the main skein of yarn. All this yarn is on their Showstopper base, which is 75% superwash merino wool and 25% nylon. This here is Can't Quit You. It's 100 grams, or started out as 100 grams. And then there are 2 minis. And I don't know, I think they're like 92 yards. But here they are. And I can't remember the names of them. And I don't know what I did with the little ball bands. They're somewhere. But these are the 2 minis that I'm using. 20-gram minis, and I think they're 92 yards. So those are all my socks. And the next works in progress is living in this bag, this cute little Santa bag. This is by Cedar Hill Farms. She used to dye yarn and make bags, and she doesn't do either anymore. And in here is living a free hat pattern by Pearl Soho. It's called the Traveling Cable Hat. Here is my progress so far. It doesn't want to cooperate. Here we go. I don't know where I was last time I showed this. I think I had just started the cable pattern. But you do for 4 inches, you do this ribbing here so you can fold it up. And I believe it's mainly 2 by 2. There is some, like this is knit 3, and in the pattern it explains just so that it can go, so it can coordinate with the cables. So most of it is 2 by 2, but in some spots it's actually 2 by 3. Here we go. I'm very close to, so it wants you to do, I think, 4 repeats. And I am almost done with the 3rd repeat. I wish I had chosen bigger needles. This is very dense. It's like can stand up on its own, but I use the recommended needles. I will say my cables look really good, if I do say so myself. But a lot of times my cables look a little loosey-goosey because I am a loose knitter. Maybe that's the trick, to use a smaller needle. They do look really good, but it just feels very dense. It's very squishy. What are the needles I'm using? These are 4mm for the body of the hat, and then for the ribbing it was 3.75. And this yarn is Malabrigo. This is very old yarn that I'm finally using. Oh my goodness, and I don't have the yarn label for that either. I can't remember. I think it's Rios. I think so. I'm not sure. But there we go. Yep, it's very close to being done. Whip number 5 is living in another Christmas bag by Twisted Yarn and Fiber. I switched out all my bags to Christmas bags. And in here is living the One Love MCal by Joji Locatelli. This mystery knit along is long done. It ended in November. There were 4 clues, and I am on the 4th clue. And I think I only have like, I don't know, 6 rows left, and then I'll be done. But here it is. It's very scrunched up. I want to make sure I show you the right side. Yes, it is very scrunched up. It'll look amazing when it's blocked. Here we go. And there's a progress keeper here somewhere. I think that's where I was last time. So from that progress keeper all the way up is what I completed. I could have this done this evening. I really believe I only have like, well, I'm, on the very last garter section, and I think it's about 6 rows. And then there is, well, you have 2 choices, but one of the choices is a picot bind off, and I think I will do that. There's also directions on how to make the shawl larger if you'd like, if you have more yarn, and I definitely will have more yarn, but I think I'm going to just finish it off without doing any extras because I think it'll be plenty big enough. I'll probably give this to my mother. I'm knitting this on a 4mm needle. I believe a 4.5 millimeter needle was recommended, but I decided to use a 4mm because I am a loose knitter, and I'm glad I did that. I think it looks good. And the yarn is, do I have the ball band for this one? I don't know what I did with them all. I do. So this is less traveled yarn. This is what I have left. So I have quite a bit left. I could definitely make this shawl bigger, but I have a lot of works in progress, so I don't think I'll be doing that. And here's their label, and sadly, she doesn't dye yarn anymore. But I used to, quite a long time ago, she had Yarn of the Month. She had a Yarn of the Month club, and so I have quite a bit of her yarn from that. And this one is called Plumeria. It is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. There are 463 yards. It's 100 gram, or started out as a 100-gram hank of yarn. So there is that works in progress. My 6th and final whip is living in a brand new project bag from Cottontail Farms. She is my absolute favorite bag maker. She had a Christmas update a few weeks ago, and she might still have some bags in her shop, so go check her out. I will leave a link to her shop below. But at any rate, she's my favorite, and here's why. Look at this bag. Look at this. I'm in love. It was really hard to choose which bag to get. They all were beautiful, but I'm so happy with this bag. It's just beautiful. And in this bag is the Gingerbread M-Cow by Telly Bean Knits. So there are 12 clues. The first clue came out on December 1st, and the last clue will come out on December 12th. I have finished 2 clues, and I'm going to show it. So if you don't want to see it, look away. So like I've said a few times, today is actually Wednesday. You're seeing this on Thursday. So clue 3 has come out, but I haven't had a chance to get to it. And so hopefully I'll get that done tonight. I'm keeping up so far, but it's relatively small. So here is day 1 and day 2 of the cowl. And we know it's a cowl. So there we go. This in the pink was day 1. And then this in the red is day 2. It's my cute little Santa progress keeper from, I think it's Bah Humble. So this is it. So this is a fingering weight cowl. We know it's a cowl. She always does mystery knit along cowls. She does them quite often. And this will eventually have color work. And all the yarn that I'm using is Stroll yarn by Knit Picks. So let's see. I'll show you all my colors. I will try. There are 6 colors in all. And this is all from my stash, so yay me. Oh, come on. Let's see, can I do it? So there we go. These are the 6 colors that I'm going to use. I feel like that looks very Christmassy. And all of this stroll yarn is 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon. There is 231 yards, and each of these are 50 grams. And this one is white. This one is burnt umber heather. This one is dogwood heather. This one is holly berry. This one is patina. I do have a much darker green that I might use, but I don't know, I think this might be fun to use. And then the last one is mint. I believe this is on a 3.5 millimeter needle. Yes. So that is it. I love this so far. The textures, just beautiful. So those are all my works in progress. I have one more works in progress that I would like to start, but I haven't gotten it yet. If you watched my video last week, I mentioned that I bought a kit from the Barrett Wool Company called The Happiest Snowman. Oh, I cannot wait. It is still not, I haven't received it yet. It is still in Madison, Wisconsin, at the post office. It hasn't even left yet, so I don't know when I'll be getting that. So hopefully that'll be a works in progress that I can show you next week, along with progress on all the other things I've been working on. And I'll show you my Advent yarn that I've opened up throughout the week. And last but not least, I also have a yarn haul. My husband and I went to the Alabama Fiber Festival, which was in November. And I got some yarn from New to Me Dyers, and I'm very excited about it, and I can't wait to show it to you all. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and possibly consider subscribing. I would very much appreciate it. So I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next week. So until then, bye for now.